2500 milliseconds, you said?
After I say, please watch this informational clip, should I tell the viewers we are live streaming today, so please bear with us? Because last time the server, like the Wi-Fi messed up, and there were times where we were having technical difficulties.
Hey Brian, are we gonna have any connection issues today? You think?
What?
Connection issues, the way we did the last time we did.
I mean, like a lot. I mean, we don't know. But
should no, because when I open, should I tell the viewers to bear with us because we might have technical issues?
No?
Yeah,
don't? Okay.
Tell them what we
Okay.
Yeah, make it sound professional.
We would be streaming
You
to
say that
total of
after.
0 at that
Okay.
point.
Yeah, we're like, oh, we're off air.
It's easier to
Okay, Valerie, so where do I stop it?
Okay. So please watch this informational clip.
And then stop.
No, sorry.
Oh,
so,
what?
sorry. So please watch this informational clip. And then there's a space already. So I said, welcome back, Comets. Today we have two guests, Alex and Marcelo. That's after I say Marcelo is when you stop.
Okay.
Oh,
Marcelo,
not that video,
stop.
no.
Is my hand gonna be in frame if I stop it? Stop it while I'm talking? Okay, great.
Go low.
Okay. Yeah, alright.
We're getting on. Yeah, no, I just turned it on. Do you hear it? I was just making sure the stream was coming through, yeah.
You can look at me or Marcelo if you guys are talking to each other.
Okay.
Or
I just
what
want to do a
camera should they
sync.
look at?
So if you're talking, talk to the person you're addressing, and if
Valerie,
you really have a point that you want everyone to know, tell it to also the camera.
Okay. Okay.
Like a conversation.
Right. Okay.
But which camera?
I'd say that.
You two either look at that one, and Valerie, you know.
I had some extra audio.
Oh, it's these.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say that.
So these two, look at this one,
Mm-hmm.
and then for you, look at those.
Look at these two. Okay. Great. So then.
The banner makes it look like Marcelo is Alex Good.
Okay, so you'll go ahead and start it.
Alex is Marcelo.
The audio is slow.
Audio is 2.5 seconds slow.
When do I start? Or what am I timing?
You're timing the entire show. So whenever we officially start the show, you'll start timing.
Okay, and then what do I do when?
You just hold the iPad.
Yeah, no,
okay.
no, but what do I do when it goes off? Like, or like, what do I just be like? It's 16
Oh,
minutes, guys.
The stopwatch.
Do the stopwatch.
It has to be how long we've been going.
Because like you could
But
give
I'll
like a
just
5
need.
minute
Okay.
It's too late.
Okay. Okay, so then I say.
It's too late. You can just walk.
You're doing the clap for me?
Or someone clap into a microphone.
I got it.
Oh, can y'all switch seats?
What?
Yeah, the name's different.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So we have.
I think they'd figure it out at home, but
Yeah.
we can make it work.
We can work with it. We can roll
So
with
I say
punches.
the open monologue and it says it, and say Alex and Marcelo.
It's a whole different
Then
angle. It's
wait
like
for
a different room.
closing monologue to come up and press pause.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Actually.
It's kind of busy over here. Then yeah.
Can we swap these out?
Oh,
And
the
then after
chair
that,
covers.
After 20 minutes pass, so after the break and everything,
Good.
my
I
very
can
last
switch
line
chairs.
is
It's the covers that were
going to be
bothering
like,
me.
all right, guys, so that's all the time we have today. Our general understanding, and then I say that, and then, oh wait, no, hold on. Sorry. Never mind. I'll signal to you.
Stream with Valerie's stream.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what.
Do you want to clap?
I'm trying to think what I can signal to you when to start, when to play the teleprompter again, so that I can say my closing monologue.
You know, if all else fails, you can just point at me or something. Yeah, alright.
Just be like,
But I got you on the first one. And then
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Sync offset.
I can say a word.
100.
I'm trying to think of one.
One more time.
Blink twice.
Blink 3 times if you want me to start the teleprompter.
He's so creepy.
Your eyes are so
No,
wide.
just make sure the camera's looking at us. And then
No, I'll say, well, thank you guys for being here.
Did someone else like
And then-
Start.
okay.
You can always tell at the end, because at the end of the
Which
show,
camera?
every show that we've had, what I do is I generalize what we discussed. So once I say, so it looks, once I say, thank you guys for being here, start the teleprompter.
Okay.
Let's take this out.
Good.
I guess that's what it'll be.
Thank
good?
you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, let's switch it on.
Aw, Brandon.
Everyone's cell phone is on silent.
Yep.
Nope.
Mine's off.
Mine's in another room.
Perfect.
Even better.
Show schedule starts and then we'll start the stream.
Sound like such a bitch.
Wait, are we already live?
You want me to control this or you?
Yeah, but
No,
one's
these
watching.
are like
Okay.
tests.
Okay, so keep in mind, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Exactly how you see it. 2, 3.
Wait a minute.
Dang, Ethan from this view looks like a badass because he's just like in the
2,
middle.
3.
Mastermind.
So 2 shows. What am I seeing right now? 3.
You're seeing 3.
You're seeing 3.
Yeah, so exactly how you see it right now.
Where is that one?
Hey, the
It's
audio's still
up
live.
there now.
The audio's still live.
Hey there, Comets. I'm pretty sure you guys are all familiar with this photo right here. The one of the little girl crying at the southern border while her mother is being detained by ICE. Recently, President Trump has signed a zero-tolerance policy towards immigration, affecting states like Texas, Arizona, and California. For our next episode of In the Seat, our topic of discussion will be immigration. Hey guys, and welcome to our third episode of In the Seat with Valerie Perez. Today, we're going to discuss many stories that involve immigration. The first will be the iconic photo by John Moore of the little girl in the pink jacket crying at the southern border. Our second story will be Time Magazine's new cover story and the Photoshop photo. And our third story will be Melania's I Don't Care jacket scandal. Before we begin, please watch this informational clip. Welcome back, Comets. Hey there, Comets. I'm pretty sure you guys are all familiar with this photo right here. The one of the little girl crying at the southern border while her mother is being detained by ICE. Recently, President Trump has signed a zero-tolerance policy towards immigration, affecting states like Texas, Arizona, and California. For our next episode of In the Seat, our topic of discussion will be immigration. All right, so much for the break. Welcome back, Comets. Today we have two guests, Alex and Marcelo. Before we begin, I would like you guys to introduce yourselves, tell us what you're studying here at UTD, which political party you identify with, and whether or not you plan to pursue policy in the future.
Hi, Valerie. Thank you for having me. As you said, my name is Marcelo. I'm a JSLM student here at UTD. Currently, I identify as a Democrat, and I don't really think politics is in my personal future, but I do believe that it's important to be involved in politics as an American citizen, and just because it's important for you to be an informed voter.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Alex Christie. I am the president of the chapter of the UT Dallas College Republicans. I'm studying mechanical engineering, and for the sake of my own and everyone else's sanity, I don't intend to pursue a career in politics.
That's funny. Do you think, so we're just going to go ahead and start. Do you think the Trump's zero tolerance policy has stained his image and the administration's image?
Well, I don't really think that that's something that's going to stain his image, just because he's had so many scandals in his career, and this isn't really one that's specific to his presidency. This is something that's been going on for several years. So ultimately, I don't think this will have a huge impact on his administration.
I agree. President Trump can very easily separate out the zero tolerance policy, which actually is quite popular if you look at polling data, from what is actually controversial about it, which is family separation,
Right.
which is very unpopular. He can't do it at the moment, probably by force of law. He probably needs an act of Congress. But if the problem itself is just about family separation versus the difference between a zero tolerance policy and catch and release, then he can get out of this pretty quickly.
Right.
Right.
Do you guys think it was inhumane for him to do this, or for past presidents to allow this to happen to immigrant families?
I mean, definitely there is something that doesn't sit well with the American public when you see, all these kids in detention centers separated from their parents, kids as young as like 2 or 3 years old that never did anything wrong, just in cages, basically. Like, I hate to use the soundbite, kill children in cages, but that's basically what it is. And I don't know, it doesn't sit well with the American people, and I think there's something to be said about that.
I don't think, generally speaking, there's anything inhumane about how we enforce our borders. We have to keep something in mind. The demographics of those crossing the border illegally aren't people in Mexico very much anymore.
Right.
These are people from Guatemala or Honduras who
Right.
are crossing thousands of miles of the Mexican desert,
Right.
paying thousands of dollars to the drug cartels to smuggle them into the country,
Mhm.
while the drug cartels are killing Mexican politicians by the hundreds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is essentially something that we need to make sure gets tackled with the full force of the law. Most of the 83% of the kids that are currently in the custody of the government aren't there because they were separated from their families. 83% of the kids in federal custody are there because they're not with anyone.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
This a zero tolerance policy is.
But do you think
generally
it's
the best.
inhumane?
Uh,
Like on your personal, do you think?
No, what he's talking about when he says the cages, what he's talking about are the processing centers. That's where they have to stay until they can be moved to the other locations made specifically for the kids. The reason why so many of these kids are being separated from their families in the first place is because the Ninth Circuit Court said that it was inhumane to keep them in facilities made for adults. So we need to separate them out for facilities made for children.
Right.
Once they're in the children-focused facilities, their circumstances aren't ideal, but they're well cared for.
Okay. All right. And would you consider Trump's policy to be motivated by race, or is it just a fulfillment of one of his campaign promises?
I mean, I just think that he's trying to fulfill his campaign promises. He made so many campaign promises, it's difficult to know which ones he will follow up on, which ones he won't. And that was a concern that many of his voters had, whether he would follow through with his promises that he made, because a lot of them were very over the top, I guess. Like, they were very big promises that he made. This is definitely one that he's trying to follow up on. Whether or not it's race motivated, I personally can't say. But it does feel like that at certain points.
Okay.
I think that, I don't like to accuse people of being motivated by some, I don't pretend to know people's motives unless they give me very clear reason. I have no reason to suppose that Donald Trump is motivated by racism as he's instituted the policy. This is the negative effects that have grown out of this are merely the result of our current legal situation transitioning from catch and release to a zero tolerance policy.
Okay, immigration policy seems to be a revolving problem for every president in recent American history. Would you say that immigration has been taken less seriously by other past presidents and that Trump is just really now cracking down on it?
I don't really think it's necessarily that other presidents took it less seriously. It's just that other presidents maybe had different views on immigration. Even past Republican presidents didn't necessarily have the exact same views as him and wouldn't have put forth the same policies that he did. Every president handles immigration differently. Every Congress handles immigration differently. It's just a matter of having a different, the right combination of people to get the policies that you want passed.
What do you think?
I would say that it's it's absolutely true that Donald Trump campaigned on an immigration policy platform essentially unique to him. And that is probably the biggest reason why he eventually obtained the Republican Party's nomination in 2016. If we really think about, the way the status quo of immigration policy has gone back the last even 50 years, in my opinion, the last president to take immigration very seriously was Eisenhower. Amnesty legislation was never put forward until Reagan did it in, 1986, I believe.
Yeah, it was in the 80s.
Since then, they've done it, I think, a total of 7 times.
Right.
And what's even more disturbing is when Reagan did it, they said this will be the only time it happens. So if it happens 7 more times, eventually people start, figuring out this is essentially a big lie.
Right. And what's new? Politicians lie all the time, right?
Yeah.
So now that we're going to go into the the photo and this iconic photo of the little girl crying while her mother is detained by ICE. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen that, right?
Yep.
What was your reaction when you saw the photo?
Honestly, it's just a very emotional
on social
photo.
media.
Right. The first time I saw it, I think, was on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a very emotional photo. It really captures how a lot of people who are crossing the border are treated, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just cut deep into how it opened up a lot of people's eyes to what was going on at the border.
Mm-hmm.
When I first saw the picture, I really wanted some more context.
Right.
A picture is worth 1,000 words, but it's a very interesting question what those 1,000 words will be.
Right.
Especially with an issue where the media tends to act in a somewhat of an activist role when it comes to issues like immigration and law enforcement more generally. So I just wanted more context.
Right.
Right. It's really easy for things to get blown out of proportion that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you wanted to know the facts right after. So the editor-in-chief of Time magazine, you guys have seen the famous cover, right, where it's the little girl and you can tell it's photoshopped, and then it's Trump just looking down at her. Do you know, when we look at that, he did receive some sort of backlash because in reality, the little girl was never taken away from her mother at all. So she became the symbol of these 2,000 children being separated from their families at the border, and she wasn't even a real example of it. Do you think this is a classic case of fake news?
Yeah, I definitely think this was a huge oversight from Time magazine. They really shouldn't have put this out there if they weren't 100% sure of who the girl in the picture was and what her situation was. It makes me trust media a little less.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the problem is really what was on Time magazine's cover. If you read Time magazine, you understand their covers to be artistic editorialization about current events, especially with regard to President Trump. The problem was that the picture purported to show something that wasn't as it seemed. The picture functions essentially the same way as that famous Vietnam War photo shows, with the kids running away from the village that's being napalmed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's about American imperialism.
Right.
Well, first off, it's not imperialism, they're coming here.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I just think it showed something. It became the vessel for an idea that it really wasn't meant to represent in the first place.
Right, yes.
Yeah. And Time magazine has had a pretty good reputation, you know, since now. Do you think? I mean, I know I used it as a source for news, and I would say maybe it probably has had a better reputation than maybe CNN or anything that we see on television. Maybe that it's up into the level of New York Times, the Washington Post. I would definitely put Time magazine there. Do you think after this their reputation has been affected negatively or not at all?
I don't think media is, aside from politics, probably one of the least meritocratic professions. Where did the untruth that Michael Brown had his hands up and said, please don't shoot start? It started in the Washington Post, which you just cited as an example of good media, and it essentially was the same problem.
Well, I meant respectable media.
I understand that, but you're asking if their reputation has been tarnished, and you gave that as an example of being respectable.
Well, where do you get your news?
I go all over the place depending on the issue. With regard to immigration, I usually read think tank material like Center of Immigration Studies. I read a little bit of everything. You gotta pick your sources carefully with immigration.
Right.
Right.
Okay. All right, and we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
I'm Stanley Joseph, and I'm currently a writer and reporter for UTDTV, and I'm wondering why you aren't part of our organization. UTDTV is the premier place to bring your creative visions to life, whether that be science fiction, drama, comedy, or action adventure. Currently, we're looking for writers, reporters, and editors, but anyone with an idea is welcome to join, and that includes you. If you want to take a look at some of our previous work, feel free to check it out at utdtv.com, and make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the handle UTDTV. I look forward to seeing you in the studio.
Right at the very end. With
We are back, and you are still watching In the Seat with Valerie Perez. Just to give you guys a little update, we are still talking about immigration. So this will be more of a general question. Overall, do you think immigrants are hard workers and benefit the economy?
It's hard to make broad generalizations like that. Definitely, on a case-by-case basis, it's easier to tell. Personally, I'm an immigrant. I would consider myself a hard worker. Immigrants that I know are all very hard workers, but like I said, I don't like making generalizations about a large group of people.
Okay.
The problem with immigrants as a statistical generalization as it relates to modern contemporary American immigration policy isn't that they're lazy. It's just that over the past decades, we've constructed a very large welfare state. And the reality is when you allow people that tend to be poorer on average into a welfare state, they tend to start taking out more in benefits than they can contribute back into via taxation. Immigrants on the whole,
Do you think they're hard workers?
they have, as a statistical generalization, they actually have a higher employment rate than the native population. Even so, it cannot make up for the disparities that the welfare state causes.
Okay. All right. There's so much violence going on in different countries right now, causing people to do whatever it takes to flee their country of origin. And we know for a fact, because of these stories and everything, that it's especially from Latin America, not really Mexico. So because of this, do you think that immigration will always be a problem in the U.S.?
Definitely, since the U.S. has these ideals of being the land of opportunity, that I do think that we will always have to deal with immigration in one way or another because people are always trying to come here to fulfill their dreams, live their best lives. So we will always have to figure out a way to figure out who we want to let into this country, how much we want to regulate it, and all of those things.
I think we have a couple of options as it relates to Latin America.
Okay.
I think that it's partially understandable that people would just wish to flee a violent country. The violent crime rate as a disparity between the United States and some of these countries is about as much as 5 times, which is about as much as the United States compared to Germany, Germany being much safer. That being said, there are plenty of countries that are much safer than the United States, and we don't see a lot of people trying to flee the United States to go to Japan or Germany.
Well, it's a lot farther and a lot riskier.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
not
Latin
really.
America is
If
still
you
the
can
same
get
continent of the Americas, so I mean, it makes sense.
it's actually less risky to just get on a plane and go to Berlin or
With what
Tokyo. Well, if you're an American, then
Well,
you
I mean,
have the money. I'm talking about Americans as it relates to Japan
Okay.
and Germans, not Central Americans.
Okay.
But we have a couple of options. A lot of the governments in Central America are essentially relics of Soviet hegemony in the region. I think that a lot of their problems are solved economically. We can engage in a lot of diplomacy. We have a very large interest in working with these countries directly, and part of that means encouraging their own economic development.
Do you guys think that the administration wants to work with other countries?
There have been signs that the administration has been working with Mexico on the immigration issue specifically. I know that the American government helped with Mexico's own immigration policy as it related to other Latin American countries. That legislation felt kind of rushed as it focused more on keeping people out of the country rather than setting up support systems for the people that were already in Mexico. But there are signs that the United States is trying to remedy this in other ways.
You never really know. When we work with Mexico and when we work with the Central American countries, we ostensibly, we have an interest and they have an interest.
Right.
The interests are essentially at odds. Mexico alone receives about $20 billion a year just from foreign workers living abroad here and then sending money back as remissions. Those numbers are lower for Central American countries, but they'll eventually get to be that point just because of the amount of people they're sending. That props up a lot of their economies very heavily. It can be done. There's room for skepticism, though.
Right. So there can be a better reform, is what you guys are saying, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. So it looks like that's all the time we have today. Thank you guys for coming in. We really enjoyed your presence here. Please comment below and tell us what you think, and continue to check out our YouTube channel and entertainment videos and our news videos. Thank you for your time.
I'm Stanley Joseph, and I'm currently a writer and reporter for UTDTV, and I'm
Beautiful.
Yeah. Beautiful. Can I kiss you?
Sure.
Yes. She said yes. She said yes. She said yes! She said yes! She said yes! She said yes! Oh, yeah! Yes! Uh-huh! Yeah, yeah. Good report.
What are you doing?
Ah, yes. Yes, yes.
Here, let me help you out a little bit.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so.
Shut up.
Hi, welcome to Political Shops, the show where we Photoshop the news. So today's news article is about Jeffy Bezos, and he recently bought PillPack for $1 billion, and this has been disrupting the pharmaceutical industry. It says right here from CNN Tech, right now going into the pharmacy can be a tough pill to swallow. Getting your prescription slept into the drugstore, wait in line. But that could all change when all your stuff is sent to your door in like 2 days. So in about 2 days, I can get Jeff-shaped pills into my mouth. So let's start photoshopping Jeff Bezos. I spelled his name wrong. It looks like Jeff Bezos has been working out lately. He's been wearing a lot more leather and looking more like this instead of like this. I mean, that's not really intimidating. Also, bald people are a lot easier to Photoshop. I think I'm going to use this image of it. That's a good one. Save images. Oh. To my desktop. What's up? I'm too bright? Alright, so let's start with a new Photoshop file. Let's get a big icon one. 1000 by 1000. Let's look for some nice pills. You know, when my computer doesn't load, I'm like looking at myself. I'm on right now. So which pill most represents Jeff Bezos? I think I could get a lot of nice Jeffies on this one. Save images. So we're actually going to open up this file here. Right. Ain't nothing but a little lag. I want to kind of embody that Jeff Bezos wants to get inside of all of us via pills. And I'm going to do that by getting a bunch of little Jeff Bezos faces. Now, if they're a little warped, that's okay, because we're going to like perspective warp them to be on these pills. Oh my god, there's so much lag. That's fine. So, Shift I. Delete. Let's kind of feather these edges so that he looks better on a pill. And I want to get more of his face than like his edges anyways. I don't love you for your curves, Jeff. That's perfect. Do I distort them? Ooh. Look at his bald head. It fits so well on here. Whoa. All right, so we got one Jeff pill. Let's change his color so that he looks a little bit different. Okay, that's not the one. Oh, fuck. He looks kind of like a Mentos. I like that. All right, we got one Jeff Bezos head. Let's get another one. That's a great one. He looks like he's contemplating a joke at the same time while laughing at someone else's. Oh. He looks so intimidating in his photos. Can I get this one? I want this one. Oh my god. No. That one didn't import right. Oh well. Head. Eye. A little softer. Perfect. That's a concern, Jeff, for this pill up here. It's for... And then, just get a color. We can do what we did with the other one, kind of make him look like a happy Mentos. A little cyan. He's a little orange because he's in that pill box. I don't know. I kind of want him to look more white without... I want him to be a little pastier. Use edge. Brightness, contrast. I'll use that one. Oh, he fits right in now. Look at that. How do I add some like political messaging across? Let's get the Amazon Basics logo in here. I wonder if these pills are going to be part of Amazon Basics. I know some people who buy like exclusively this stuff for their tech. Amazon Basics. Wow. Oh, that's already a PNG. We're money, man. More Jeff! Well, the white's still there. Rasterize the layer. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a color range for this one. Just gonna do white. A little fuzzy. Delete that. Look at the laughing Bezos. We can get like a whole bunch of dwarves, except instead of dwarves, we'll just get Bezoses. Gotta be careful with his little eyebrow right here, mouth, and then delete that. I keep forgetting. Skater boys and the skater distance. It looks like a Teletubby. Like the Teletubby's son. Except, I don't know, just Jeff Bezos. And there's no son. I guess it's the same, like, effect. Skip. It's not big enough. If I squish him, can you tell he's still Jeff Bezos? I'm a CEO. Transfer. Free transform. That's the one. It's like a capsized Bezos. Right there. That's a good Bezos. Alright. I want to see what that one looks like with an overlay. It works! What about soft light? I bet that one really could look better. Hard light, surprisingly. No. Yeah. So with a lot of blending, you want to use like the brightness contrast wheel. You can get it pretty bright, and we kind of want him to be super bright because he is a little pill guy. And then I normally go with color balance as the second one. And we've actually been able to get some decent blends using this. He's more cyan than anything. What are you doing? Sa. Thank you. Apparently my face wasn't showing. My personality is very important to the show, apparently. So let's run through a couple things. I want to go with like a modern type font that Amazon might use. It's got to be a sans serif. The only one that I can think of top of my head is like Sweden Sans. Let's put Sans in there. Comic Sans? No. Amazon Basics. You know, let's do an Amazon thing and just make this last part orange. I can make that with bold too. Paragraph. Bold. Yes. Color. Bezos. Oh my god. And I'm getting a little strapped for time, so which Bezos is this? Is side Bezos? And this is a basic. Amazon basics. And this one is concern. Oh. And then flat. All right. So I think how many more Bezoses do we have? I think we can just cycle between these three. So what I can do is just copy these over, and since they have basically the white complexion that I'm looking for in a Bezos, I can just paste them over and put them on multiple things. I'm gonna put them here, except what's wrong with this one is that there's a little bit of edge, so that it's less pill and more Bezos. And what I want is a little bit more pill and less Bezos for this specific instance. If I wasn't strapped for time, I might want to clean that edge up a little bit more, but I don't know. Let's get a concern Bezos in here. So let's drag him over, put him here, kind of erase him. Let's get another concern Bezos over here. Let's put one here. And clean him up a little bit right there on his chin. All right. And then I got a side Bezos. And I'm going to copy over a few side Bezoses. I'm going to put side Bezos over here. And another, I actually really like side Bezos. So I'm going to get one more side Bezos. Put him back here. Wash him up a little bit with this. And then clean up his face. So he kind of looks like he fits in there a little bit better. We don't really nearly have enough flat Bezoses. Let's get some more. Put him here. Actually, I kind of want him back here. Eraser, and erase that side of his face right there. Get the top. Cool. Okay. This is weird. You know, I think I'm good. I could add a little bit more Bezos. Let's get a new one in here. We have that one. So, confident Bezos. This is the last guy. What we're gonna do is bring him up to the top. This dude just needs to stay there. Rasterize him. And I think we're only gonna have one of these because of a lack of time. But let's make it good. Yeah. I got 1 minute on the clock, guys. Perfect. That's a good Bezos. And you know what? We'll overlay him because we don't have really time for that guy. All right, that was political shops. Today's news was about Jeff Bezos buying PillPack for $1 billion. I'll see you next time. I'm signing off. This has been Daryl Keller, and if you want to get this Photoshop, I'll put it on the UTD website. I'm off.
Good morning and welcome to the University of Texas at Dallas. We're happy to have you here. Here's a map to help you find your way around. This floppy disk will give you more information about the campus. If you need more help, we'll be here.
This is the Activities Center. Here is where you'll meet clubs and organizations. It's also a great place to exercise or play cool sports like basketball or swimming. This is the Founders Building. You can grab friends to hang out and study here. It's also home to the Founders Computer Lab. Here, you can fix your account, play games, and study. If you have any questions, the help desk is here to help you. This is the Student Union, or SU. Here is where you can relax and play games like billiards and table tennis. It's also where you can grab food from Panda Express, Chick-fil-A, and others at the Comet Cafe. The McDermott Library. This is where students spend hours studying, cramming, and mostly sleeping. Nightlife at UTD's campus is non-existent. We're glad you've chosen the University of Texas at Dallas. We hope you enjoy your stay.
Hello and welcome back to UTDTV's live stream. We're here all night long, never going anywhere, ever. I'm your host, Rudy Avila, joined here today by my co-founder for PressX2Express.com, the only video game satire website that has yet to exist. Still number one, come at us. Of course, I'm the head editor in Beef, joined by my co-editor. What's your official title?
My official title is Head-Ass Editor.
Head
Assistant Editor, yes.
Yeah, he takes care of all that. We're joined here by our special guest and amazing, just social icon, the official McCree.
Oh my God.
The official
EJ Noodle.
EJ Chong here today.
Please follow McCree Text on Twitter. My name is EJ Chong. I'm the station manager.
Coming with
also
that big
known
dick
as
energy.
the Station momager.
So we are here today to launch a very special show, a very new show in collaboration with titled Shared XP Questions. Basically, we are getting life advice questions from video game characters from around everywhere, every video game ever. But we started out with the most generic because we basic like that, so it's okay. But if you ever have any questions, list them in the comments for any UTDTV video. I don't care if it's a newscast. I don't care if it's in the seat. Put a comment for shared XP questions.
Yeah, don't be a bitch.
What he said. That's right.
All right, let's go.
But yeah, let's just get this started. I like how we have 30 minutes, but this is gonna be a 5-minute show before we get copyright strike. Here we go.
First question.
Dear editors, UNSC bread, alien killing. Son, can you read this? I don't swear. Can you read that for me?
What was that, sir?
Son of a
bitch.
Can you say that a little bit stronger?
Son of a bitch.
Ooh. And a caricature of what developers assume fathers of Black Twitter look like. I'm calling you out. I see you, Frank. Don't actually use this against me when I try to get a job. Sorry. I don't actually know what the ladies like. Of course, this man knew what the ladies like. He does not know what the ladies like. How can I learn to go from being Arlie Ermy, rest in peace, to Billy D. Williams? Doesn't matter. From a sergeant who just wants you to hold me, baby. That's a lot to take in.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What does UNSC stand for?
United Nations Space Command.
Oh, okay.
Also, United Nations Security Council. Same thing.
That doesn't help me answer this
Space
question,
Force.
'cause I have no advice for this
Oh.
person.
This is a very specific Halo question.
This is a very. Am I okay? I guess okay. I'm the only one. Okay, but it's a very specific question in that. Do you want to be people who want to be grizzled drill sergeant? Who's a grizzled drill sergeant? He wants to be smooth. He wants to be Billy D. Williams. He wants to be Lando. He wants to have that suaveness.
Oh, I have an
'Cause,
answer. You
yes.
have to be a character that comes from a game by the creator of Detroit Beyond Human.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That is the only way for you to become a romantic conquest in a what appears to be a racially motivated question to this modern advice show.
Oh yeah, 100%. You can't.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
can't trust these developers out here.
PG-13 is getting a little bit too political.
Yeah, it's getting real. But it is a question.
Sergeant
regardless.
Johnson, as the only person at this table with big dick energy,
Yeah, true.
let me lay out some
True.
real advice. Ladies love 3 things. 1, medium dick energy. 2, small dick energy. And 3, big dick energy. It's all about that dick energy. You gotta bring it. You gotta bring
It's collaboration
it
of all. It's all the smashes. Virginia, Texas, all of them together.
Dude, small dick gang wing out here.
Small dick gang.
Hey,
Gang.
hit me up. Hey, let's go.
All right, this next question, Andrew, would you mind
All right.
reading?
You just started hello editors.
all right. Hello editors. I noticed that my player does really strange stuff in my game that don't make me feel safe. They've taken all the toilets in my house so they can see me wet myself. They've made my personality trait a couch potato, but makes me go to the gym 8 hours every day and work for the military. And they've been trying to let a vampire in my house to turn me into one. Oh yeah, and they killed my family in a house fire. Interesting. And they said it was an accident because they spilled a tea on their shorts when it happened. How can I tell my player to leave me alone and stop making my life miserable? Am I wrong? Am I the problem? Simple Samaritan. Samarican. Sim player.
Shout out to all my Samaritans out there.
Oh man,
this is a lot.
This question that we have received
They just keep coming.
is the same question that modern theologists have been asking since atheism has been invented. So jot that one down. Am I wrong? Am I the problem? I don't know. Would you pray to your God and ask if you're the problem? Just from a conceptual standpoint, I think that is the only way that we can move forward with this.
So is there nothing he can do? Nothing they can do?
How about this? Every time something unfortunate happens to you, just like be really, really into it. So whenever the next time, like if you make a new family, you wet yourself. You just go, oh my God, yes!
Do you think that's what Sim
great.
God's fantasy is?
Yeah.
To be resistant
Well,
against it?
yeah, no. The Sim God, there is no lonelier occupation than being a god.
This god kind of sounds like me.
Yeah,
Did I submit this question?
Should these people be allowed to play games? Can we judge people that do this?
Do y'all have any advice for this question asker?
I can only ask.
My
Yeah. I just want to know if gods can bleed. Just, get into the code, blow up the computer, get at him, matrix him, go Neo on him, brap, brap,
I still think you should go the route with just find
that too, yeah.
unusual pleasure in all of the pain that you receive. But that might backfire.
Yeah. Drink more water than expected.
Yeah.
Go to the bathroom more often.
Yeah.
Go to a neighbor's bathroom and make him delete every bathroom in the game. That's just extra work on him.
Yeah. Wet yourself so much that the game crashes.
Yeah.
Do a Bethesda glitch and then just clip through the wall.
Exactly. Out of bounds, you're good. You're free.
Yeah.
It's outside the matrix.
This next question is appropriate coming from my voice, so I will read it right now. Hi, editors. I don't know how to feel about my new boyfriend. I think he's going out with me because it's easier for him to get gifts for me than the other girls in the valley I think he's in love with. I think he's in love with Leah. I just want him to be happy. Should we break up? Am I being a bad partner?
These question people need to learn how to read.
Two
It's
questions.
terrible.
One,
Yeah.
who the fuck is Leia?
I don't know, but she's about to get got.
And the second question, what's wrong with getting gifts from your man? I don't see any problem.
Wait, is this the game where you get to pick your girlfriend?
It's a game where you give your girlfriend a lot of gifts. It's a game where you can have multiple girlfriends, and the one that you give the best gifts to and the most gifts to is your ultimate girlfriend.
But is it only about gifts?
It's like.
Is that the only way that you get them to have affection towards you?
It's like if Mormonism was a meritocratic system.
Is it really meritocratic though?
Capitalism does not belong in the house of God.
It sounds pretty capitalistic though. Whoever has that money, get those gifts. Stardew Valley girls out here tricking. Can't trust them.
I mean, maybe he is with you because it's easier to get gifts for you.
He sounds terrible as well.
I'm not with Michelle Obama because I know that I could never treat her well.
Yeah. It's true.
That's just responsibility.
Leave him.
Yeah.
It's trash.
Yeah.
But you're also trash.
You know what, dude? I would just go and just fish, cause that's what I did in my game, and I was super happy. Fuck guys. Just don't even fuck with him. Just go and fish, rivers, oceans, whatever. I heard there's gonna be a multiplayer now.
Oh yeah.
Now you have options to choose.
Yeah.
From. There's gonna be
Yeah, we
other
married
players
each
for
other.
you.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Wait. Okay. Yeah. We into it. Sorry. Sorry, I just got into it too much. I'm getting some football signals here. I don't know what's going on.
We will be going to a commercial break right now. And stay tuned when we come back to After Hours live stream.
I think there's a flag on the play.
Big Nation.
Alright, essay's done. I wonder why Star Wars is getting so much hype. Oh my god.
The Force. It's calling to you.
Oh Professor, please, I know I'm 2 minutes late, but can you please take my essay?
No, I don't accept any late work. No.
You will accept this essay.
Maybe I'll make an exception this time.
Hey, with
Did you finish your presentation yet?
You know it's due next week, right?
I mean, how hard can it be?
All right.
Hey, good luck on your presentation tomorrow.
I can finish this in one night.
It's fine. You're fine. You're probably thinking that, hey, how bad and difficult can this presentation be? I can finish this no problem. I'll be asleep within the hour. I can take my time. It's only a final semester presentation, so you refuse to believe that it'll take any effort or time. Ha 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 ha. 20 Red Bulls and a pound of coffee later, and you still can't find the PDF of your textbook, let alone what this presentation is even supposed to be about. All you want to do is scream at the top of your lungs and break your desk in two. But let's be real, you've procrastinated going to the gym too. You're desperate. You're looking for any possible way out, some sign or miracle. But let's be real, nothing you say is gonna actually happen.
Maybe if I sleep for 15 minutes, I can just shorten my conclusion?
Yeah, okay.
If you help me, I won't watch Netflix for a month.
Have some dignity, woman.
I'll never procrastinate again.
Now that's a lie. It's over. Everything around you seems to be closing in. There's only one thing left to do. The sun finally rises. You can't feel your face, and you haven't slept at all. You have a class in 2 hours, but the worst part is, you've only finished your second topic. But it's okay, because somewhere on campus, there is somebody waking up and realizing that they forgot to finish their project. But they actually got some sleep. Idiot.
Here we go. Coreanos, hermanos, y ahora mexicano. Coreano, hermanos, y ahora mexicano. Is it just me? Am I the only one who's going to be shouting?
Welcome to the Korean-Mexican Alliance.
We're done. We're done.
AKA
No.
how to push Germany out of the World Cup qualifiers for the first time.
Why are we
since
even here
2010.
anymore?
Welcome back to Express.
Shared XP
Yeah.
questions.
Press-
Shared XP. That's all. That's the name of the show.
Okay, that's yeah.
What are we on here? We on this one? I'm looking at you, camera. He's looking back at me. Okay. We on a question? We on a question?
Yeah, we have a question.
All right, got you. We're on to our next question. Here we go. Another concerned individual. Let's see if we can solve their life problems. Y'all feel ready for this one? Because we burned through those first
I
two.
feel like this one's gonna be a real humdinger.
Might have to cut this one.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, hello, editors. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. This is a bit of an Italian accent here. Here we go. Hello, editors. Your boys that got to the strap on.
What the?
Sorry, I had a Freudian slip there. What's worse, a strap or a strap on? Either one. It's horrible on this video game character. Okay. Let's read it as a class together.
If you
It
have
might be
the
easier.
strap, does
Yeah.
that mean you have big dick energy or not?
Well, if you have the strap on, that means you
Do you have
you
the
probably
energy?
have it. Yeah, you have because you have 2 dicks.
Big dick
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know how to do math too well, but I think that's how it works.
You gotta question over.
I think he's just practicing safe sex.
Let's back to the top.
All right. Let's go.
Let's
Read it.
pull back that spring break. Pull back that old video. Okay. Okay. We'll keep going. Okay. Hello, editors.
Hello at the editors.
Your boys have got a strap. I can't. Is this offensive? I don't know.
No.
Okay. And is it tired of this bigger Bowser?
It is.
Yeah,
offensive.
it's very bad. Minority on minority violence. Don't do that. It's bad.
Read it.
Boy punking me, and my family every week. That's terrible. First off, just want to say, if anyone's punking you and your family, then you gotta do something about that.
Does punking mean the same thing that it meant in 2009?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, cool. You never know.
Yeah, never know. I'm tired of being scared all the time, and with my new gang of rabbids, of course, I've got 8 shooters ready to murk any Koopa. So I'm looking to trap some mushrooms in my king. I'm looking at anybody trapping mushrooms in my kingdom right now. So obviously Mario or Luigi. Oh wait, who's this from?
There's no question. There's no question in this. They
There's
just
no-
wrote to us to brag about how they've got 8
yeah,
shooters
there's nobody.
ready to murk a Koopa. Looking to.
Let's listen. Violence isn't the answer.
This is not the Mario game that I remember.
Gang violence is terrible. It's destroying communities, and we need to work together. We need to find peaceful ways.
He is working together. He has.
He does have 8 shooters. They
no,
are
he
working.
has
Oh, sorry.
Rabid friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, friends with rabies.
Oh man, that's pretty. That's pretty
Which is
sketch.
worse. Which
Yeah.
is what is it? Weaponized.
But he calls them shooters.
Biological warfare.
What?
I think Luigi has a brother complex.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
I think. Does he have that big dick energy? First off.
Yeah, let's get that out of the
Yeah.
way because I think this is.
Luigi's small dick gang forever.
Can we confirm that?
Luigi
has.
Confirming it's
We
Luigi.
confirm it?
Luigi, if you're out there, I just want you to know that there's no shame in not having that big dick energy.
I played Mario, that Rabbids game. He had like a Dragonov in that game. He had like a sniper rifle, so he had. I think anyone who uses sniper rifles have big dick energy. I played Call of Duty in 2009.
What if it?
I know that experience.
What if his strap is the little vacuum that he uses in Luigi's?
It
Mansion?
100% is. It's.
But it works the other way, where
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of sucking the ghosts in,
he's sucking the
he's
ghost out.
out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That still makes sense, I guess. Okay.
Last comment. It takes more than 8 shooters to unlock your big dick chakras.
It does. But does it take more than 8 to murk a Koopa?
No. So there's your answer, even though there was no fucking question.
There really wasn't a question in it. I don't know who's sending these in, but they're terrible.
I'm too suburban for this. I don't understand.
Andrew, why don't you read the
suburban for this?
actual question?
All right.
You're not from that kind of Koreatown.
No. Hi, editors. My brother keeps going down to the local casino and deals with the devil. How can I get him to help? From Mugga Joe.
I think he's asking how do I get him help?
to help?
Because
Get the devil to help?
Yeah. Are they trying to convince the devil, or is he trying to stop gambling addiction? Both are terrible.
Are you trying to get your brother to stop making deals with the devil, or are you trying to say, how do I get the devil to make a deal with me?
What sounds cooler?
This is a question for me, because as you all know, I am possessed by the demon.
Lesbian demon.
The lesbian demon.
Or bisexual demon.
Bisexual
that's
demon
true.
energy. Bisexual big dick energy.
Yeah, that's where the chocolates come from.
Yeah, that's where the
I
chocolates
saw
come
Naruto.
from.
That's how it works.
Dude, if there's one jutsu that I want to do the sexy jutsu from Naruto.
The sexy jutsu?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
I want to do the reverse harem sexy jutsu, where it's all the naked dudes who's all coming together and they're like swole, and I just want to flex with them.
Hey, I have a new
Yeah.
I have a new jutsu. Ready?
Are we just voguing at this point? What?
Thank you. And that's how you get the devil to make deals with you.
I guess? I don't know what just happened. I'm sorry. Okay, let's keep going
That's
because
called a new. That's
yeah.
a new jutsu. You use it on the
Yeah.
demons.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna
Okay.
go off on a tangent,
Last
but here you
question.
go.
This
You
one
take it over.
is a callback to a question from earlier. Hello, editors. I've been in a relationship with my current partner for over 30 years. I love them more than you could even think. But recently I've started to feel like I'm drifting away from them romantically. And, funny enough, when the two of us visited my brother's mansion, I saw my brother's new girlfriend. She looks just like my girl, she plays tennis, and is going to start fighting in tournaments come December, and all in a beautiful dress. She's just like my partner, but ... no. I'm conflicted on what to do at this point, especially since me and my brother's girlfriend slept with each other last night. What should I do? From It's a Me, Monogamy.
Are tennis thoughts the new game?
What?
I'm sorry.
Tennis thoughts? Like tennis thoughts and hoes?
Yes. Is there another comment? There's a lot to take in, especially being that coming from that earlier question. Every question has been worse and worse.
Tennis is the next like sexy sport.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whenever you're like, you know, whipping your Wii remote out during that good, sexy Wii Sports tennis match, just completely missing the hitboxes because that game.
Is it more pro for people of the little dick gang to play tennis because they have a smaller hitbox?
I think it's bigger dick energy to play Wii tennis because you only have half a court to swing your bat at. If
playing bat, that kind of bat with a tennis, yeah.
You have a limited field.
Is this a health class?
In which to aim your appendage.
Yeah, you gotta go for the arc.
We're not answering this guy's question.
I'm sorry, I got stuck on the tennis thoughts.
Now the new question is tennis the next sexy sport?
Yeah.
I'm conflicted on what to do. He's asking, he slept with his brother's girlfriend. He's like, what should I do next?
I like how he signed off, though. He signed off unlike his brother.
It's a me.
It's a me. Yeah.
It's a me, a monogamy.
It's clearly not a you monogamy.
It's not. Why are you cheating?
Because
why are you out here?
Well, did he cheat on his girlfriend?
Is he cheating if it's his Yes, it is. What do we say?
Yes, it is.
What do we say?
They don't have the same partner.
It's not cheating if you're playing first.
Is it cheating if it's a reskin?
Is it cheating if he didn't say that they're still together when he slept with his brother's new girlfriend? But is it right for you to sleep with your brother's new girlfriend?
But you still have a girlfriend. Wait, no, you're in a 3rd-year relationship, right?
Oh,
with them. I don't know what them means.
Yeah, he's been in a relationship for 30 years.
Oh my god.
He's out. Mario is wilding out here.
That means you had to have, let's say, like, you've had a relationship since you were, like, from the decent age of starting a relationship, like 16. That means you're 46 and you cheated on your partner.
Yeah.
And not only cheated on your partner, you cheated on your partner with your brother's partner.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing left for you to do is
sleep with Bowser.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, sleep with Bowser.
Yeah. Oh,
Have
I got it
you
right
seen
this time?
him? He's a good father.
Good father.
He
Good father.
has that
single
big dick
father
energy.
His son's got that big dick energy. His whole lineage, the Koopa kids, all of them.
He can
they come at you.
protect you.
He's got an army behind him.
A castle.
Castles.
Oh my
He's got like 10 castles.
Why
How many
are we
wants he
even
got?
talking to Mario?
Yeah, Mario's
Why
like
is
a chump.
Luigi's girlfriend even sleeping with Mario when Bowser's right there with all of his turtly gorgeous energy?
I prefer Donkey Kong over Bowser.
That
Agree or
girl.
disagree? Are you serious? When he beats your
I'm
cheeks like
just
this,
kidding.
are you
I'm just
serious?
kidding. He comes in with those dongs. He can play my butt like a bongos. He's good at that.
That makes you a furry.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
No, that makes you a musician. Because you play the bongos.
Anything but a furry.
Yeah. We'll work it out.
Well, but if you play Mario in Super Smash and you beat every other character, does that mean Mario smashed every other character?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what Super
100%.
Smash
Yeah,
so that
Super
is so if you and I play Mario and you play Bowser, that means
we smash him.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did you know that like 5 minutes before the show, our producer was like, "Hey, keep it PG-13."
I think that's 13. That 13-year-old kids
If you
nowadays.
fuck
you don't
Donkey
know what
Kong,
you don't
you
know what
are
they've
a
been on.
furry.
I mean that's accurate. I guess.
Thank you.
I feel bad now because I kind of wanted him to play on my stomach like bongos, and now I'm sad. Now that makes me weird. I don't want to be. I don't because
No,
I
it
don't.
doesn't make you weird. It just makes you a furry.
I don't trust furries. I don't trust myself.
There's nothing wrong with being a furry.
Wait.
Wait, what do you?
Donkey Kong
what's
can't
wrong
be
with
a
being
furry.
a furry? Well, no, Donkey Kong is a gorilla. If you sleep with him, you're a furry.
You know, you're
And-
right. You're making me
why is
confront
Donkey
something in
Kong
myself right
associated
now,
with furries?
where I've
There's
had bad
nothing
experiences
wrong
with
with
furries,
being a
but I
furry.
should not judge the community based on one action of a certain person.
Wait, why
So
don't
I'm gonna
you-
move past that.
Why don't you tell
It's a personal
the
story.
entire
It's
public
not for
audience
the live stream audience.
Your very poor experience with.
I just it's nothing to share. It's okay. We can move past it. But I think this is a growing moment for all of us. For me personally. But for Andrew as well. There's nothing wrong with furries.
With being a furry.
There's something wrong with
Andrew,
ourselves.
we're all here for
and
you.
we
There's
apologize.
nothing wrong with being a furry.
My brother, husband, and I apologize for any disparagement of the furry community, because obviously
Welcome to my brother,
I'm
my
secretly
husband, and
love Donkey Kong, and I've been resisting it for too long.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him a strap and call it Donkey Kong. This is happening.
Yeah, it's okay, I guess. I mean, that's all the questions we got. Once again, if you have any more questions for us, please submit them in any UTDTV video comment section. We would have an email ready for you, but we don't have it now because
Thank you for watching. Kiss your dad straight on the lips.
Kiss your Donkey Kong straight on the congas.
Let him beat your cheeks.
Okay, I guess. We got more time? Can we just...
Remember where you were. There is winning. There is winning in style. There is winning with guts. All that tonight. The Patriots have another Super Bowl. Bill Belichick, Tom Brady have done it again.
You know, I'm feeling pretty good. It's just a great reason to be part of the organization. You know, great coaching staff, great teammates, and you know, the Falcons are a good team. And we just, you know, we went out and we scored and we played better.
How did you turn around the game after halftime?
I already answered that question.
Mr. Brady, what happened in the locker room during halftime?
So we went in, we talked about some plays, we just refueled, we got back together and we rallied, and you know, we came back and we won.
Mr. Brady, can you be more specific?
Oh, it's getting hot in the conference room, or you know, we just won. We got scored some more points, and we won because we scored more points than the Falcons.
Mr. Brady, can you be more specific?
Fine. You want to know the truth of what happened in the locker room? I'll tell you what we did at halftime in the locker room, okay? So what we did, we went back and we didn't talk about plays, okay? Entire country of Tasmania. Yeah? That's what happened during the locker room. No more questions.
I'm Ivy.
And this is Patricia. I am an ATEC graduate student, a classical mezzo-soprano, and a web designer. Patricia?
Hi, I am a biotechnology graduate student, and I am also a singer. That's how I met Ivy. Our sophomore year, we played characters in a production, a Harry Potter musical, and she played Draco, and I played Voldemort. So that was quite a fun time.
Exciting way to meet.
Yes, absolutely, definitely memorable. Today, we'll be making a mind map together.
And what's that?
Well, a mind map is kind of a tool. I learned about it a couple years ago in a class. It's a brainstorming tool. So you start with one subject and you just branch off from there. It's kind of like improv, where whatever you put on this page goes and you just go from there.
So
it's
yes
literally
to everything.
Exactly. It's literally a map of your mind.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, so what did you want to talk about today on our mind map?
How about arts?
Arts.
The arts in general.
Okay, cool, cool. So let's start with the arts.
All right, so now what?
Well, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word arts? Go ahead and write it on there.
Arts and technology.
Okay. I think of beauty.
Oh, nice.
I think visual.
Funding's always a big one.
Yes, absolutely. All right.
Can I cross over onto your side?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to move out into some different kinds of visual arts.
Cool.
So maybe theater and sculpture.
That's really interesting because when I hear the word visual, I don't necessarily think of performance.
Really?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Okay.
Because when
It is visual.
Right, because I think of the traditional things like painting, drawing, sketching, charcoal, things like that, as opposed to a moving piece that is literally visual, like theater.
Yeah.
That's really fascinating. I like that.
So I guess we could also branch out to, am I going to smudge that? I don't think so.
Nah. They're quick dry.
Performing arts?
Mm-hmm.
Because not all performing arts is theater.
That's very true.
Okay.
Because you have dance and other things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just stick painting on here just because. Painting. Sculpture.
I'm going to branch out from beauty and say philosophy.
Wow, you are jumping really, really far.
I
Okay.
like your topics.
Nice. Thank you. Yes, I try.
Hopefully I don't misspell anything on here. Does
That's
that matter
true.
when you're brainstorming?
I don't think so, honestly. I didn't
Good.
think about spelling. Your brain has like automatic spell check, I guess.
I hope so.
Well, it's funny. Have you ever had that experience where you're writing a word and you write the word please, but you write it 10 times in a row, and by the time you write
it isn't a word anymore.
Yeah, and you're like, is that the right way to spell that? You forget. It's really funny how that works. I'm just gonna say dance up here.
All right.
It's funny you write sculpture.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been good at sculpture.
I've never tried. I played with Play-Doh. I'm putting Play-Doh down as an art form.
Are you serious?
Yes.
All right.
It's brainstorming. We don't say no to anything.
Good point.
There we go.
I like it.
It's the art of
I'm gonna
Play-Doh.
write here. I'm gonna write salty.
Yeah?
Because Play-Doh. Have you ever eaten Play-Doh?
Yes.
It's salty.
It's gross.
You can make Play-Doh.
Wait, can you?
Yeah, it's like it's a lot of flour and a lot of salt and some other ingredients like water and things like that. You can make Play-Doh.
So
I
it's
made
like
it in 6th
bread
grade.
dough, but different ratios.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yep, and not edible.
Not advisably edible.
Yeah, not advisably edible. Web design, CSS. You've added a lot of stuff over here. Sneaky. Okay, I'm gonna write Disney because animation.
Yeah.
Disney.
Nice.
You can't do animation without Disney. Arts as protest. What?
So we've got a big corner over here to fill in.
All right, art as protest. You mean like as just a way of communicating?
I feel like yes, but that would be earlier. Can we branch off of a branch?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I feel like that would come earlier, but I'm thinking more along the lines of art movements in history. For
Good point.
example, Impressionism being a movement against realism.
Gotcha. Or Cubism.
Mozart.
Mozart.
I'm putting Mozart,
Mozart
here.
forever. When you put
That's
two
my favorite
singers in a
protest
room, the
artist.
word Mozart is going to come.
It's gonna
into
come
the
up.
conversation. Yes, absolutely. Mozart is
I don't
life.
feel like he does belong in arts as protest, though. He's
How
more
about,
as
how
arts
about
as irreverence.
this expression?
Hmm.
There you go.
I can put him there.
We fixed it. Yeah, there you go. Now Mozart belongs. Very nice.
Mozart. All right.
I'm gonna say drawing here.
Oh, have you heard anything about Babel? That the theater, it's both a play and an art installation, if I'm remembering right, on gun violence.
Cool.
That the theater department is doing right now with Cry Havoc.
I have not.
So, check out Babel if you haven't already.
Nice. That's
Here we
pretty
go.
cool. Here we go. Game design. That's a pretty interesting one. When you think of the arts, you don't necessarily include video games.
I feel like you should, though. You know,
Right.
it's new, so we don't tend to think of it.
It is a newer art form, for sure. That's kind of interesting to think of the timeline of the arts.
Yeah. Can we draw really long branches?
Yeah.
Cool.
Go for it.
I'm
Have
gonna
some
pull
fun with
that
it.
over to this, because environment design is also in theater and in performing arts as well as in game design. It's just out in the real world instead of in the visual world.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's
Wait,
still the same concept.
I'm confused. Do you mean like environments in the game design?
Yeah, it's basically set
Oh,
design, but
okay,
for the
gotcha.
game world.
Cool.
Yeah.
That must be a really fun job.
I could not do it.
Why not?
Well, I can't come up with enough ideas for just telling a story through places and through props. You gotta have a special brain for that.
Gotcha. It's like it's
Costumes I can do.
What? It's like storyboarding to the extreme.
It is. Well, storyboarding without any characters.
To the extreme.
To the extreme.
Costumes. Amen, sister. We've been there. We've done that. Man, fishing through all of those costumes in the theater costume cage.
It's like a whole world of ideas down there.
It is. There's a little bit of everything.
Ideas on hangers.
That's awesome. Chalk.
I love
Yes.
chalk drawings.
Sidewalk.
Yes.
Because sidewalk.
Illusions. Have you seen those sidewalk chalk illusion drawings where it looks like there's a hole? In the yes.
Those
are
are
amazing.
so cool. I can't imagine. How do you even start being able to do that? You have to be really good at perspective, because it's all about their perspective. Because when
That's
you're
what it looks
drawing
like
it,
from the
it
wrong
doesn't.
perspective.
Yeah. When you're drawing it, it doesn't look right. You have to literally draw it contorted. It's the whole thing of somebody once drew a drawing where it was like this, and you stuck a little aluminum tube, and the picture reflected off the tube, and it was the full face.
I've seen that.
You
yeah.
have? Yeah.
I don't
Isn't
know
that
how
amazing?
you conceptualized that before.
I don't know either, but it's pretty incredible. People can do amazing things. It's awesome.
Yes.
Waha! Found it. Disney. I think therefore I am.
Interested to see
Hey.
some impressionistic animation. I lost track of where that was going.
That's okay. Totally fine. Sometimes life is like that. I think therefore I am. When abstract art became more, I guess, popular, this was a really, really big deal. Because there would be artists that would literally just print on a page, I think therefore I am. And it was an art piece.
It is art because it makes you think.
Yes. I took an understanding arts class, and before that class, I really didn't understand abstract art. I always thought, well, if a kindergartner could do it, is it really considered art? But going through that class was really eye-opening because it really changed my perspective.
I feel like understanding art classes are really handy, especially when you think when you get to thinking about how you think about art.
That's a good point.
I was just in Italy, and so we were visiting a lot of churches and museums and places with art.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't feel like I had to be snapping photos constantly to remember, because I had taken these sort of art classes, and so I was able to look at it and see it and just think about all of the details
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of hold it, rather than needing to document it and go back and check.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more of an experience that way, rather than a documentation process.
Wow.
Which I feel like is kind of more the way it's supposed to be, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's so true. I like that. I'm glad that you got to experience. I know I have a problem a lot of the time where I let the time go by, and you should really learn how to live in the present.
Yes.
Because that's all you'll ever have, is the present. I mean, you have the future to look forward to, you have the past to look at as well, but you're really only ever going to have right now.
Right.
So having that awareness is really, really important, I think, to learn as a skill. Libraries!
Libraries!
Oh.
Beautiful places.
Beautiful, marvelous places. I had a librarian. Ooh, I don't know if I should write her name on it.
Right, librarian?
Yeah, well, her name was Miss Kanak, and she taught us about palindromes as a very young age. It was elementary school, because her name was Miss Kanak, which is a palindrome. K-N-A-K. Sorry.
I was gonna say, that doesn't sound quite right.
It's like race cars, the same spelled backwards.
Yes.
So, Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
Beauty and the Beast. There's that whole meme.
About what a girl wants as a library?
Yeah. It's like, everyone else wanted the Beast. I wanted the library. And that's technically animation.
It is.
Haha.
Wow.
Everything is animation.
Everything connects. Technically, it's also a visual art.
Nice.
Does that count as connected already, since it's sort of through a tree?
Whatever you want. It's pretty fun, though. Beat poetry? What's that?
It's not a period I know a ton about, but it was a movement of poetry happening in the 60s, 1960s, I believe, where, you know, a lot was happening in the 60s, sort of anti-establishment generally.
Yeah.
And the beat poetry movement was part of that, if I'm remembering right.
Okay, gotcha.
It's just what comes into my head when I think of arts as protest.
Is it related in any way to slam poetry? Because that's a pretty popular movement nowadays.
We can put them in together.
It's not just because they both have the word poetry. I'm just thinking conceptually.
So after you brainstorm, do you go in and you Google questions like that come up?
If you like. Because this is really good for if you have to write a paper, or you're an artist and you want to create an art piece or something. Because I know for me, like, all of these are kind of relevant, but I will literally go arts, cat. And it works.
So, okay, if we were going to turn this into, say, a paper, now what would we do?
Well,
would we start picking out topics?
Yes, you could either focus on one particular branch, such as visual, and go from there, or you could have like a paragraph on visual, a paragraph on beauty, a paragraph on that kind of thing to help you kind of figure. So there's different ways to go about using the mind map. They're also just kind of pretty.
They are that. You could say they're arts in themselves.
Exactly. So, but yeah, that's how I would recommend it. Basically, where you either choose one branch and you focus on every other part of that branch, or you like pick every little branch, like every main branch, and then do a little bit. So not every single attaching branch from there.
That makes sense.
So, and connections like this are not too useful unless you want to do like a short little blurb about how it relates to each other.
Nice. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So if we were going to write an essay on visual arts, for example, and just use this cluster, we might not actually get all the way to Play-Doh. But we might talk about performing arts, we might talk about drawing, we might even jump down and talk a little bit about beauty as it pertains to visual arts. But we might not get all the way over to arts as protest.
Exactly.
That
Absolutely.
makes sense.
Because I know the page limit is maybe 10 pages, but...
Depends on what grade level you're at.
That's true. Sometimes it's 5 pages. So it just depends on what your essay needs. So, for sure.
Could you do something like this for a dissertation?
Probably. Absolutely. This can help you learn, like, figure out what you want to research. Absolutely. Especially if you're taking people's opinions.
Ooh.
Because there's a lot of things on here that people might have opinions about. I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of things on here that might be anybody in particular's special subject that they happen to know a ton about.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, if you need to interview people as well.
I mean, heck, you go over to the ATEC building, you could get a lot on that one cluster.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Arts and humanities, maybe.
Maybe.
You'd think, you'd hope. They knocked down the art barn not too long ago, but... So...
I'm putting the art barn in.
You are? Aw.
By Arts' protest.
Nice. All right. That's UTD for you.
Mind map art as protest against the destruction of the art barn.
Yeah.
Posthumously.
I still remember when they tied up T-shirts all around it. Do you remember that?
Oh, no, I wasn't there when that happened, but I saw it afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They've also got the T-shirts hanging up in the Honors Building,
Mm-hmm.
the Green Building.
The Green Center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but different things. Different T-shirts. Different, but that's cool. Yeah. I just remember there's a type of tree that makes white blossoms, and they smell like rotten eggs.
Oh no!
And it was growing outside the art barn. They destroyed it, and I'm very happy.
Goodness gracious!
It was a very smelly tree. Okay, well, we need to start wrapping up. Is there anything else you'd like to add to our mind map? It looks pretty nice so far.
It kind of does. Put it up in a frame somewhere. What do you do with the mind map once you're done with it? Once you've finished your paper or your art piece?
I mean, it's a part of the process, so you can really do anything you want with it. Typically, it won't be
documentation.
It won't be. There you go. It won't be this big.
Oh, okay.
I know for my own mind maps, I keep them in just a little journal. It's
so you
it's
can
my
just do it in your
miscellaneous
notebook?
journal. Exactly.
Okay.
You can do it on any size paper you want.
Nice. Do you have to save it? Could you do it on a whiteboard?
You could, and take a picture if you'd like for documentation. Because, like you were saying before, you might have an essay about visuals, and you don't get to this part.
But maybe you could use this later.
Exactly. Because maybe you like to write, and so you want to write an essay for fun. I don't know.
Maybe you have a class and it requires 3 essays.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely.
Just do a mind map at the beginning of the semester, and then another one in the middle, and just sort of take your pick out of the topics that come up repeatedly.
Mm-hmm. I think that would be a really good idea. I know for mine, I do mind maps for anything. I have mind maps for dinosaurs.
Nice.
Like dinosaurs was right here. I have a mind map for love. I have a mind map for just because it's just fun. It really gets your creative juices flowing, and it's not necessarily like for an essay or anything. It's just to help you get your thoughts out on a page or on a little visual.
And it's nice to just say yes to your thoughts, to not have to go through the critical thinking every moment of the thinking process, and just to let it all out and look at it all together.
Absolutely. And then sometimes I'll go in and I'll do this kind of linking.
Yes.
Where I'm like, this actually is like this, and this is like that, and then
everything connects in some kind of way.
Exactly. Like, you should see my mind map for love. It's like a full page, all over the place. Everything is connected. There's like 1,000 branches. It's really, really great. That was a fun one to do. So I definitely would recommend maybe using this kind of tool for brainstorming of any sort.
Brainstorming for anything.
Anything. Cats, dogs, dinosaurs, arts.
Nice.
So anything like that.
Wonder. I'm looking at almost a triangle of beauty and philosophy and illusion here. If I can connect them.
So the Bermuda Triangle.
The Bermuda Triangle, philosophy and art.
And illusion.
Because you know that C.S. Lewis quote about art as a beautiful lie? It's interesting to think about when is a lie worthwhile and when is it not a lie if it's art.
That is something.
I'm going to go too far with this. I'm going to start a whole new mind map. Can you do that? Just sort of circle
whatever
a cluster
you want.
and start over again.
Yep. Maybe we'll do that in our next show if we have a next show.
But
for right now, we have to finish up. Thank you so much, Ivy, for coming in and helping me to make a mind map. Yeah, it was totally fun. I'm happy that I could introduce it to you.
Thanks.
She's a very artsy person. So, thank you.